The moment Janelle declares that Kody no longer believes in her beliefs, she decides to sue him. She does not want to be released from her legal rights since she still believes in her vows and her faith. It's quite perplexing because it seems like neither Kody nor Janelle are claiming each other. But Janelle is essentially acknowledging that she will remain spiritually married to him due to her faith. Janelle has admitted that she has ended her relationship with him, but she has also stated that she will never date anyone again as long as she maintains her fundamentalist beliefs. She is simply redefining herself as Mary, but she won't pretend to want to try to patch things up or let herself think that she can't date or start a new relationship because she needs to honor the eternal celestial commitment that Kody has broken with her. Hey guys, it's Amelia here. Welcome to TLC Flicks. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up. This episode was a mixed bag of positive and negative things happened to Janelle. On the positive side, she got upset with Christine for asking questions about her marriage and relationship. On the negative side, Janelle seemed defensive about where she is right now and wasn't ready to cut the cord entirely, which is, I believe, partly why she has been so hesitant to divide the assets. Christine also wants to kind of prod her in the right direction, so hopefully she succeeds. Christine was acting combative. Sincerely, I had the impression that Christine is peering in from the outside, aware of what is going on and understanding Kody's situation. She is aware of Robyn's disposition. She is aware that Janelle has almost 3 times been drawn back into Kody's grasp, and I believe she has reasonable fears that this will happen again. She may also be aware that Janelle is stalling and that she refuses to have that conversation, arguing that Kody has no interest in speaking with her. However, even though Janelle expressed that she didn't want to be with him, the talk could still take place if she so desired. In my opinion, though, she doesn't want that conversation to take place. Christine is receiving conflicting signals from her. No, we're not together. With him, I don't see a way ahead. Our relationship is gone, as I've previously informed him, but she hasn't really stated as much. When she expresses her want to be apart from him, Janelle becomes quite uncomfortable with Christine really pushing her to have that talk, and even seeming as though Christina is questioning her. And I think that kind of interaction shouldn't bother you if you two are truly good friends. You shouldn't be annoyed by it. The fact that a friend expresses their views shouldn't irritate you, and Christine doesn't, in my opinion. Christina still has to tread carefully around Janelle, even if I believe that by telling her that she must do what she did, by all means, she is doing her best to support her friend. I think it's great that they're close a lot of the time, but Christine can be much more honest than Janelle is, and Christine actually helps Janelle a lot more than the other person. I'm not sure how it works. How long is unknown to me. I'm not sure if they will remain together indefinitely. You understand what I mean when I say that Janelle becomes really irate whenever Christine asks a question, but she never does it in front of Christine. She does it to the production, and she gets upset about it. On the other hand, I don't see Christine getting upset at all with Janelle and genuinely telling me that I should use caution and tact when dealing with her. That's a toxic dynamic. I'm not sure if it's because Janelle isn't ready to give up on her faith, if she doesn't want direction, or if there's some sort of buried past that makes them feel this way about one another, but you ought to be able to support your friend and offer advice without getting upset with the producer. Kody will always believe that a reconciliation is possible, and Robyn will also believe that a reconciliation is possible. And he's like, despite Mary telling them, "This is what you did to me. We've never had that conversation." What a bitch karma is. However, following that conversation, Janelle tells me that she and Christine won't get married to him ever again, but that she still believes in God. She is essentially stating, "I will never date anyone again." I still feel that I am bound to him for eternity, so I want to live a celibate and single life for the rest of my days. While it's true that they were sealed in their church, one of the former members that I frequently speak with stated that Kody is currently ineligible to enter the celestial kingdom because in order to do so, one must be in harmony with at least 3 women simultaneously, which entails being in a celestial marriage of harmony and happiness. I am sealed to Kody for all eternity. 3 is insufficient. Thus, Janelle's fallacious reasoning in this situation is that in order for me to reach my eternal state, I must be faithful to him. However, since they are not in harmony, none of them are actually adhering to this doctrine. It's therefore best if she just lets him go. Want to share your thieves that interaction, as neither of these two is genuinely admitting that the cult they belong to is patriarchal, and neither of them has a clue what patriarchy is. No woman is capable of holding a leadership role. The husband serves as the family's controller, head of household, priesthood authority, and the one who bestows the blessings that the women are obligated to accept. When Janelle claims that something was never included in her marriage contract, she is either lying or doesn't understand her faith, as it is unquestionably a part of her beliefs. She committed to marrying Kody on the condition that she would submit to his wishes and respect his authority as the family's priest. That's the core tenet of this system. The spouse has the last word. Is the one in charge the one who takes the lead? It is him who is their means of access to God. It is a patriarchy, of course, and Kody is full of shit when he claims he has never been one. They are disintegrating, and he has always been the patriarch. Janelle is currently smart because she is opposing patriarchy. Mary would remain in the patriarchy even if he let her to stay there, even though Christine doesn't want to be there. However, they are unaware of what patriarchy is. When Janelle claims to be intelligent, it's obvious, and sometimes I wonder whether she recognizes that she's been severely misinformed or brainwashed. If that's the case, as she claims, I never would have consented to this. If that were the case, she didn't realize what she was getting into when she married him, as their church is obviously patriarchal, and she didn't know the religion well enough. It is obvious that their church views women as property to be used for sex, money, and chattel. Priesthoods are not open to women. It is forbidden for them to bestow blessings. Women belong to the property. We're going to discuss Kody's or Robyn's repulsive remarks about Mary next. Kody claims that he is unable to file for divorce, but he also stated that he wanted to resolve the issue with her. However, when he attempted to do so, she was unkind to him, and it seems as though he doesn't accept responsibility for the situation he brought about. In spite of their claims to have desired celestial holy marriage, she was the first wife. Even though she claims she wanted it, that doesn't prepare a woman to have to live with it. And sometimes I find it difficult to believe that. The idea that a man can simply continue to take more women is ridiculous. The main wife, the legal wife, should not have to put up with a lot of bullshit from him and the other wives. I would be hostile toward him and the other wives if I were in his position. Mary also had to put up with a lot of jealousy and anger. He continues, she claims that I abandoned her, but I wasn't the one who did it. I got kicked out by her. He's just playing games since he treated her so badly and made things so unbearable for her that he pushed her away, like these polygamists or plural spouses do when they don't want to deal with their wives. They don't want to interact with a woman who is constantly irate with them. They want to be a better man and listen to their partner, not put up with it or try to be tolerant. All they desire is to carry out their actions without being held responsible. Kody does at least. Therefore, he would prefer to just throw her out and then play the victim by claiming that she was the one who pushed him out. He won't even accept or admit that he did this to Christine, Janelle, and Mary. He won't even go so far as to claim that he did anything to them or that he made poor decisions. The funny thing is that he said, maybe. Then he talks for about 2 minutes about how wonderful and devoted Robyn is and how she entered this family with that, and that's all just bullshit. Robyn had only herself to rely on for loyalty. It's merely a way for him to perform mental acrobatics and rationalize his actions, which are all foolish because at the end of the day, he is aware of the restrictions surrounding polygamy. He was aware of the tenets of the faith. Playing the victim, he claims that although he was unable to take action, he was still able to end the marriage. He was free to reject his religion. He had the option to cease his aggressive behavior, but he refused to accept responsibility for his actions and show humility. It is therefore simpler to place the blame on them or the faith and absolve yourself of accountability. When the children refused to comply with her requests and join a FaceTime or Zoom session so that everyone could see one another, Robyn became irate. They all started fighting when she had a meltdown, and her children began leveling outrageous charges against her. Her daughters said in the previous season that they were informed that the family members were making negative remarks about them and harboring animosity toward them. Robyn added that she decided not to participate in the gift exchange after raising her hands. She also claims that this year, they were merely observing, oh, this kind of got gross. No, the following day or two, Mykelti had to go about telling everyone that they no longer wanted to celebrate Christmas. She is now acting as though it never happened, even though it is not what actually happened. During the entire previous season, they faked like they didn't do that. Her ability to change history entirely is amazing. However, she then brings up her kids, which is equally unsettling because of what the kids say to defend her. It's so offensive, and it makes me realize that these kids are actually being brainwashed because I'm sure there have been conversations between kids where they weren't polite to one another. That is a common occurrence with children. There was definitely bullying. There was undoubtedly fighting and nitpicking. With children, that is what occurs. However, it wasn't Christine's and Janelle's duty to handle all of this merging while Robyn did nothing. Additionally, Kody's adoption of new children who are not biologically his wounded Kody's kids even more. Kody and Christine had 6 children together, none of which he had ever claimed officially or which are not shown on their birth certificates. Despite this, Kody went on to become the legal father of 3 children for whom he did not need to be the paternity of the other 6. Can you imagine the anguish the children would experience? However, this is what the 2 little daughters of Robyn stated. They're basically just repeating what Robyn stated the previous year, which was that she thought Christine, Mary, and Janelle could have been more helpful in the family's integration. The family had a lot of issues with this integration from the start, so who can blame them? Before they were ever married and had hardly seen Kody, Aurora, Brianna, and Dayton were instructed to call him dad. The children were taught they had to accept these children. After that, even though the children don't even know the 3 foreign children, they are expected to accept them as their own siblings and accept them for everything. When things don't go as planned, you assume they will go smoothly, and the kids are told to be quiet, shut up, and accept it. Thus, it's true that the parents made mistakes and forced this to happen, and that it was all horribly done on TV. Even though they all want to claim that everything was handled to the best of their abilities, I believe Janelle captured it best last season when she said that mistakes were made, that parents should have listened to their children more, and that there were people who told Aurora in a public setting that they didn't view her as a sister or consider her to be one. All right, who? Give me the person's name, the setting in which it was spoken, and the reason behind it. Have you spoken to them yet? Were you being cruel, vengeful, or sarcastic? Did you receive anything that the other children did not? Did you tell on kids and suck up to Kody? Aurora, what did you do? In this instance, I don't think Aurora would be the victim. Robyn, even if they said, I don't see you as a sister, so you're not going to let. I would be the exact same way as the kids who were compelled to accept strangers. What have you spoken to them that has wounded them, Aurora, 30 or 10 years later? What actions of yours have caused them harm? Robyn's issue is that she has instilled in her daughters and children the false belief that they are despised by everyone, even if this isn't the case. Isabel was near to them, though I'm sure they moved past it eventually. Aurora was like a best friend to Gwendolyn, and Gwendolyn cherished her. Together, they completed every task. I don't know why, but everything about this seems so strange to me. First, Kody and Robyn refused to settle their differences, and then, in a fit of delusion, he claims that some members of the family believe they are superior to everyone else. In reality, though, he is projecting that Kody, Robyn, and her children believe they are superior to everyone else, which is why they act that way. Because the children will eventually discover the truth and hear that their siblings did not despise them, they will find that it was Kody and Robyn, not their siblings, who were the abusive ones. For this reason, Robyn and Kody are repulsive for what they have done to the children. Considering that he had 13 children who were biologically his own before Robyn entered the picture, can you fathom being a parent of 13 children? As a father of 13 children, can you conceive that some members of your family don't consider you to be a part of their club because they think they are better than everyone else? Can you imagine saying that about your kids and then acting as though those kids were your superiors when in reality it's the other way around? Your kids are the ones you've disregarded, mistreated, labor trafficked, and denigrated. They've even kicked you out of the club. They believe that you treated them badly and abandoned them to fend for themselves, and that you thought you were superior to them, and that Robyn's children were superior to them. Can you picture yourself acting like you're your children's victim while appearing so naive as to say it to a national audience? As much as I like Christine and Janelle, there are times when I listen to these people speak and I feel that every single adult failed the kids in some way. Some of the mistakes they made included staying and sticking around for as long as they did, not leaving sooner, and lying to the public and acting like everything was fine. However, I also realized that they were being mistreated and were a part of a cult. I don't want to place the blame on the victims, but the parents had a responsibility to these kids, and when adults in the family placed the blame on the kids, they failed to consider the fact that the kids' decisions were what ignited the dynamite. Kody acknowledged that he brought in other wives primarily to set them against one another and avoid having to deal with the heat, and he still sets them against one another now. Because he feels betrayed, he continues to set the children with Robyn against the other children. Because she's mad, Robyn is setting her kids up against the other kids. Furthermore, I don't see Janelle and Christine engaging in or participating in such narcissistic behavior. I see them attempting to figure out how things could have been better and what they could have done differently, but Kody and Robyn speak in such a definitive way. And when Robyn says that my kids were just saying, this is gross right now, she brings up Aurora, who says that she had relatives tell her they didn't consider her to be a sister. Thus, they were discussing more than simply the present. They were discussing how, 10 years later, they still hadn't let go of Robyn. And really, if that's the worst thing your sibling could say to you, then all the better. I could think of 100 different things my sibling told me that were far worse than that. That viewpoint is quite flimsy. If it offends you and you fail to realize that your mother was the one who pushed and brought you into this household and didn't have your best interests in mind, then you should be offended. To prevent her kids from becoming enraged with her, Robyn is setting up her kids against Kody's kids with the other women. This is nasty, and Kody is acting in the same way, so they won't become angry with those kids. Their self-centered antics persist, and I worry about them. What are your feelings regarding this? If you are looking for more sister wives gossip, come back to TLC Flicks for all your updates. Bye, guys.